I'm here in DC with 150 small business owners from all over the United States. I'm here with Meta and their Small Business Leaders Network, and I've gotten a chance to talk to dozens and dozens of small business owners. Everyone's talking about AI, but there is something that I don't see a lot of people talking about right now when it comes to AI integration into small business, and I'll cover that in just a moment. Over the past 24 hours, again, gotten a chance to speak to a lot of different business owners, all sorts of businesses, from retail to e-com to marketing, all sorts of things. I spoke to a young woman yesterday, her name was Carla, and she actually showed me something that I didn't even know existed. Inside of Instagram, you can actually set up an AI chatbot natively within the app. And what she was doing with this native Instagram AI chatbot was driving traffic to lead magnets and other places. I haven't actually set this up yet, so one of the things I'm going to do when I get back home and I have a chance is set up this AI chatbot, again, natively in the app. Now, I've worked with AI chatbots that can kind of pop up and speak to people in the DMs and stuff like that, but I thought this was pretty cool, especially if you have a lot of Instagram traffic. I don't spend a ton of time on Instagram. I'm a YouTube guy. I spend most of my time here on YouTube, but I thought that was an interesting takeaway that that I want to share. And again, and here's what's interesting to me too, guys. Almost everybody that I spoke to that's using AI is basically using AI is as a chatbot. You know, what people are not using AI for yet is using it as an agent to go out and perform tasks. I spoke to a number of people that said that they had set up these agents, these AI agents for their small business, but they were just like personifications. They were basically creating GPTs. What do I mean by that? Well, they have just kind of like programmed certain chatbots within their ChatGPT to like speak in a certain voice or to be optimized for certain tasks, which is a good thing, but that's kind of level one when it comes to using AI. Like, sure, if you're not having conversations with ChatGPT or Claude on a fairly regular basis, if you're not using chat, I don't even know how you survive in this new world, quite frankly. In fact, I even spoke to an assistant for a Florida senator who said that even they were using ChatGPT as a tool to be more efficient and more effective. Just a quick side note, I love DC, very cool city, but man, it is loud. It is so loud here, so I apologize for the sirens and the honking and all that madness. So in any event, it's been a cool event. I'm going to a bunch of programming later this afternoon, so I'm going to learn a lot about what Meta's next initiatives are, how they're planning on leveraging AI, what are the new customer acquisition channels. Again, as a marketer, that's something I think about. How can we lower customer acquisition costs? Another thing that I think a lot about. But again, I didn't hear people talking about this topic today, and I think that this is something that most small business owners are completely sleeping on. I think it's going to become a major issue in the near future, and that is the cost of tokens. That is the cost of actually using AI. And here's what I mean. If you haven't jumped into a tool like Claude or even ChatGPT, but I'm going to focus in on Claude because Claude cowork is being kind of a shift in the way that I operate my business and I operate for clients. For example, the other day we were running a new marketing campaign for a client of mine, and this client I'm kind of organizing thoughts and marketing initiatives across 15 different people: social media team, email team, affiliate team, all these different teams, blog team, news, all these different teams. And my job is to kind of coordinate them all, give them messaging, calls to action, tracking parameters on links. And I use Claude cowork, and I said, Claude, here's the campaign, here's what I need you to do. And it went and it created a Google Drive file, created messaging, notes, copyright, prompts, all this stuff, and then it notified people in Slack. Actually, it didn't notify people in Slack. Let me take that back. After that was done, I went in, I reviewed everything, and then notified everyone in Slack. So in any event, what did this mean? Well, it allowed me to trim down what would have been probably a half day to a full day's work and articulation down to about 30 minutes of work, which was a huge unlock for me, and it created cohesive messaging across the entire marketing campaign. And I've been doing all sorts of cool stuff with Claude Cowork. Oh, one more thing to note with that Claude Cowork is I have connected Claude Cowork to ClickUp, which is our project management system. It allows us to know, did so-and-so finish this task? That is something that was automated. Once it was done, Claude went in and set up tasks for each appropriate person, notified them, and they were able to go through. So again, this is stuff that is important, but not something I need to be spending my time on, right? Not something I need to be spending. Important, but not something I need to be spending my time on. I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's video. I just couldn't get into it today. But let's get back to this slide. So as you start using Claude Cowork more and more, what you're gonna find is this. You're gonna run into compute bottlenecks, token bottlenecks. What does that mean? Well, when you first start with an AI model as a small business owner, you're probably starting on a free plan. Then you bump up, then you get blocked out, or it says you've used your token limit. Okay, give me the $20 plan. A few hours later, you hit your token limit. Okay, give me the $100 plan. Give me the $200 plan. Give me the $2,000 plan. The more and more you're integrating these AI tools, which by the way, are mandatory, are necessary is if you're trying to start any sort of business, you're gonna need these tools, okay? But what happens is you're gonna get blocked and you're gonna have to constantly keep increasing your token allotment, right? Or you're gonna use a subprime model. Like, so for example, maybe instead of using Opus 4.7, you're gonna, I wanna save my token, so I'm just gonna use Sonnet, and you're just not gonna get as good of a response. And if you're not getting a great output from AI, what the hell are you using it for anyway, right? So here's what I think we are gonna be running into in the near future, and this is what I was speaking to the senators about, is listen, we have an incoming problem for small business owners like you, like me, and that problem is that we're gonna have a hard time, we're living in an AI world, and we're gonna have a hard time competing with huge enterprises and huge organizations that are able to throw tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, maybe tens of millions of dollars at AI token usage. As a small business owner, if I'm adding $2,000 to my token usage bill, that's a big expense. Where am I gonna make that up? I'm probably gonna be making that up on my payroll, laying people off to free up money for token usage. So what does all this mean? We as small business owners absolutely need to have access to cheap tokens. We need to have access to AI, top AI models at lower ticket cost. That means lower price energy, that means lower price compute. And I don't see business owners talking about this yet, but I promise you, and as I work with more people that are building side businesses and side hustles and building apps and getting into Claude Cowork and Claude Code and some of these more advanced models and intermediate to advanced strategies, you're gonna start running into, you've reached your token limit, please wait 3 hours. You're a small business owner, you don't have 3 hours. Listen, I'm a dad, I'm teaching, like as soon as I get back into town, I'm teaching a playoff, or I'm coaching a playoff t-ball game. I don't have 3 hours to wait for my tokens to open up. I need to get it done now. I'm in that grind set mindset, you know what I'm saying? So, what does all this mean, and what am I doing here in DC? We need, as small business owners, as the everyday man and woman, we need access to AI that's affordable and it's inexpensive because and efficient and a top model. I don't want to be using a lesser model because I need to save tokens, okay? And I don't need to wait 3 hours or till next month for my tokens to refresh. And this is what's going to happen is more and more people, as more and more organizations are using AI, the tokens are going to start to become constrained. There's going to be a supply-demand issue. There's going to be so much demand for AI token usage, and there's not going to be enough supply. And that's going to really hurt small business owners who are going to have to start jacking up what they pay for these tokens. People have been asking, where do the AI companies make money? This is where it's going to happen. As the AI models get better, as small business owners start incorporating AI more and more into their workflows, you're gonna have to start paying more for the tokens. How can government, how can regulators help us lower the cost of that expense. That, my friends, I think is a really important thing to consider, because again, if I can lower that expense, that allows me more payroll. It means I can have more people. If I say, okay, it's gonna cost me $3,000 in tokens this month, where are you gonna get that? You're gonna get that from, it's completing these tasks, so I need to lay off Cindy or Jim because they're costing me about $3,000 a month for their position, or $5,000 or $6,000, whatever the cost is. You're gonna free that up with payroll. So the alternative is the token usage stay low, and now my business runs more smoothly, it's more cost effective, I can afford to keep Cindy and Jim on the payroll. I'm just gonna shift them over into new positions to augment and supplement what I'm doing with my AI strategy. Anyway, wanted to check in with you guys. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm talking about. I look forward to seeing you here guys again today, tomorrow. If you wanna know more about what I'm doing here in DC, go check out yesterday's video. You can check it out right here. All right, boys, I'm gonna go ahead and cross the road here. Try not to get hit by a car, because man, people in DC honk a lot. Where I come from, people don't honk, people are courteous, it's pretty nice. Anyway, I digress. I'll see you in the next video, boys. See ya, peace.